Read How to Lead presents a straightforward book review of a top book on leadership. This time, we'll take a look at Powershift, transform any situation, close any deal, and achieve any outcome. It's by Daymond John, one of my favorite sharks on CNBC's Shark Tank. So the first big picture concept is making an impression or influence. Here, the author makes the point that making an impression can really position you for greatness both now and later on. The way we live kind of tells a story about us, and it can act as a calling card. The author uses the example of kids that maybe want a bit more freedom or a favor from mom. Well, they need to build up some credibility with mom that they are worthy of that and that they are deserving. Maybe do chores without being told for a while. That can be the roots of influence that best positions them to transform the situation. So the second big picture concept is about making the deal or negotiating. And the Shark author talks to us about a deal with a sock company that appeared on Shark Tank. That entrepreneur, before going on the show, watched every single episode and wrote down every single question that had ever been asked. He had colleagues rapid fire those questions to him randomly for days on end to prepare. Daymond John said this was one of his best investments from the show so far, and that entrepreneur certainly was prepared. He had to have exhibited an air of confidence and professionalism just from that being prepared. Also, work on being a worthwhile investment. Daymond talks about his clothing line and the early days when marketing dollars were pretty scarce. They saw an opportunity with mom and pop shops around the city that had those rolling steel doors that come down overnight. In exchange for cleaning off the graffiti and giving them a facelift, his company was allowed to paint its brand name on the door. That's a win-win. So the third big picture concept is making relationships last. And I think the author is inviting us to remember that these should be lifetime plans. Daymond tells the story of his fashion line and after it first made it really big. Apparently, a preset order of a certain percentage, smalls, medium, large, different sizes, were routinely sent to retailers. The larger stores can absorb the unsold lots, but the mom and pop retailers asked to break the box and customize the sizes that they could actually sell. In the heady days of the company, they just flat refused. Looking back, he says he probably sacrificed relationships. It would have been easy enough just to take an order for only the right size of larges or extra larges that the customer needed, but for the moment he had the power and maybe abused it. Would have been better to bank some long-term relationship capital. So throughout, the author talks about this idea of stages that you have to go through. When you're at the item stage, you just have an object. It's a basic utility. The label moves on to just like an identifier. Sales and deals aren't necessarily driven by the name, but there it is nonetheless. A brand is when you actually have something that's reputational, and hopefully it's a trusted brand. Then, when you're at the lifestyle level, the item has lost a lot of importance. It's really all about the experience or a certain vibe. I picked this book up because I really like Daymond John and I love Shark Tank. It was maybe a bit more of a collection of stories than a cohesive, fresh perspective on leadership. I think it might be best for someone looking to break through with a product or a brand. I love books on leadership. Let me know what you thought of my video or suggest another book to review. And don't forget to subscribe.